Hi, this is Steve Strimming from XLH Sports and Indiana Sports Network. And again this year, we have the pleasure of being with Indiana State football coach Curt Mallory. Curt, hello.
Hey, great to see you.
Great seeing you too. Curt, before we talk about 2022, let's get into what I think is a great stepping point for you was winning that last game of the season last year. That was big for your program.
Yeah, it was huge.
It should be.
Yeah, absolutely. It was a big rivalry game. We haven't won in Bloomington since 1997, and it was a great way to end the season and get into the off season.
So, what are some things that you took from that game and your staff took from that game in order to maybe more prepare for this year?
Well, I think we stayed together, and as everybody did, we went through some tough times. We maneuvered through some choppy water. We had COVID hit our team. We lost our defensive staff going into that game, and put it on the players. They stayed together. They played extremely hard, and we played a really good Illinois State game and came away with the win.
But you're not saying you want to play every game without your defensive line?
That's the last I'll ever want to do that.
Hey, 2021 provided a great season again in the Missouri Valley football. The national champion came out of your conference. 6 teams played in the FCS Bowl. 9 kids were drafted into the NFL. 17 of the Moval kids are in the Canadian Football League. Talk a little bit about what that means and how, you've got kids from Tennessee, Colorado State, Boston College that are transferring into here, into this conference to play for you. Talk a little bit about the conference. I know this year also 3 of the top 5 teams in the country come out of here. The other 2 are from the Big Sky. Talk a little bit about this conference and how crazy it is.
Well, it's obviously the best conference in the country. We play 3 teams ranked in the top 5 this year from our conference. We play 4 total. Montana will come here. That'll be 4 of the 5 top-ranked teams. It's a great challenge for us, and our players are working awfully hard. We've got young men we have 60 young men from the state of Indiana. We've got just over 20 from the state of Illinois. And then we've got guys from the surrounding states. So awfully proud of the culture. These young men have worked extremely hard, but they're ready for this year to get started.
One thing, Curt, you've always done is you've been able to recruit outside, but you've been really strong inside of Indiana, including the kid, the young, I think, Garzolini kid out of South Vermilion. You got those kids coming in. You got kids out of Eagle County, a little bit of everywhere, Indianapolis area.
Well, we're going to start our recruiting here in the Wabash Valley. And then we're going to go to the state of Indiana, and then we'll hit over to Illinois, and then we'll hit the surrounding states. That's been our philosophy since day one, and we're going to go where we have to from there. We have young men from Texas, we have guys from Florida, we have guys from California, but it's always going to start here and home.
Mm-hmm. One of the big strong points I know you've always done in Indiana State or wherever you've been was defense. And one of the keys to your team last year was turnovers. I think you ended up with .36 on the plus side on the turnovers. That comes from defense. You got some good returnees back this year. We'd like to give their names and talk a little bit about them, please.
Yeah, sure. It's always going to start up front. We have a young man that's returning. He's been here 6 years, and that's Chris Reed. Mm-hmm. And we have a young man from Center Grove High School, Lucas Hunter. Those guys are bringing great experience and great leadership. At the linebacker position, it always starts in the middle. And we have a young man from Fishers, Indiana, Jeffrey Brown, who's going to be the middle linebacker. Our will linebackers from Hamilton Southeastern, and it comes from a football family, and that's Johnny May. Mm-hmm. His father is a head football coach there.
And we all know Scott.
That's right. Scott and I are good friends, but Johnny's done really a heck of a job for us. In the secondary, you're going to hear the name Rylan Cole a lot. Rylan Cole's from Mount Vernon High School, flies around plate, was the only freshman last year that I didn't redshirt. And at the other safety, you got Ethan Hoover from Fort Wayne Snyder. And those 2 safeties back there are going to be darn fine players. And then you have our nickel back, Maddox Blackwell from Bloomington South. And so those are going to be our safeties right now. Our corners, we've got really good talent. But the leader right there is Jonathan Edwards, and he may be the best we've had since I've been here.
And, again, these are young football players. And you've got some good experience, but you also have some pretty good kids coming in, and their high schools have been successful. Yep. In fact, not only the young man out of Fort Wayne Snyder, but you also got a quarterback out of Snyder, if I remember right.
Yes, we do. Michael Hoppert has kind of been a guy that's played a lot of positions for us. Mike has played quarterback, he's played wide receiver, he's played defensive back, he's been a returner for us. Kind of does it all, and he may be one of our fastest players on the team. But Mike is a team guy. He'll play any position that we ask him. We're playing him at quarterback, we're playing him at wideout right now. He's doing a fine job.
when you're looking around the country and you have some people like I think Olds came in from Colorado State, how important is that to get you somebody under center that's kind of had that experience?
Well, Evan Elias is coming from us from Colorado State. He had game experience last year, played the 4 games that you're allowed to play without losing your red shirt. So he does have game experience. Brings a balance out here. He brings a lot of energy. And you see that. I kind of describe him as a guy, every day is like, Christmas for him, running down to open up presents. He's got a lot of energy. It's contagious. Our guys feed off of that. He's having a really good preseason, as the other 2 are too. So it's still a competition. We're really pleased with Gavin Screws and what he's brought. And obviously Cade Chambers as well. Those 3 are in a 3 rotation right now.
At the Big Ten Media Days, we talked a little bit to all the coaches about specialty teams, the punter, the kicker, the long snapper, how important that is to a college football team, or basically any team. How's your depth on that coming along?
Well, that's where we got hit. We had some really, really good specialists, and we got hit. And to be honest with you, in the spring, we didn't have any. And that was going to be a big emphasis in the off season. I feel confident that we have 2 punters. I feel confident we have 2 place kickers, and I'm confident we have 2 long snappers. I've never felt that good as far as our depth going into a season as I do now.
But that has to be a positive for you, knowing that you have that ability to do that, and then also that's got to be comfortable for you and your kicking, the coaches on the kicking team, to know we have some depth there and we have some balance.
Yeah, absolutely. We're always going to take 6 on the road, 6 specialists, and I feel like I'm not going to blink if any of the others are in. If the other guy goes into long snap, he can get in there and get the job done. Either punter, they can both get the job done, and kicker as well. I really feel good about where we're at.
Let's go back and talk one real moment here. The freshman you did not redshirt. That speaks of volumes out. And if I remember right, he was a go-getter.
Yeah, he sure was. Rylan Cole, we saw that early on, when he got here. He was going to have an opportunity to play some meaningful reps. I've known Rylan since he was really young. His father and I played high school football together. And Rylan's a tremendous young man. Does a great job representing this program, and he's going to play a lot of football for us.
This is Curt Mallory from Indiana State, the football coach. Curt, I got to ask you now, every time I came here, the stands were pretty good. A lot of people come out to watch this football game. With 4 of the top 5 teams in the country playing Indiana State this year, I would expect there'll be a lot of people here watching your efforts, because one thing I can always say about your team, I never saw them ever quit. No. Ever. No matter what it was, they kept coming back. So the resilience, you have to recruit a little bit of resilience in kids too, don't you?
Absolutely. We got a heck of a challenge this year. We play 4 of the top-ranked 5 teams in the country. 3 of them are here, and we're going to need all the support. It's great to have Sycamores in the stands, and we're going to need every one of them. And we want it to be loud, and when those teams come in here, they know where they're at.
This is Steve Strimming, XL Sports, Indiana Sports, with Indiana State football coach Curt Mallory.